Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com, setting the record straight about science. We are fortunate to share our time on Earth with a child prodigy. A Swedish girl named Greta Thunberg has the ability to see carbon dioxide with her naked eye. For most humans and dogs, carbon dioxide is a completely invisible and harmless trace gas. But Greta can see it, and she believes it's the most dangerous thing which humanity has ever been confronted with. So Greta quit school and she traveled across the ocean in a $1 million yacht in order to warn the world about this incredible danger we were facing.
My message is that we'll be watching you. This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
I always feel sorry for kids who, instead of going to school, travel around the world in expensive yachts. But it turns out that Greta has many more talents besides being a climate expert and being able to see carbon dioxide. Apparently, Greta is also an expert on viruses. Imagine by the age of 17 being an expert on climate and viruses, and that's without attending school. And Greta's not the only one. It turns out that the world's leading climate fraudster, Michael Mann, is also an expert on viruses too. He's being honored by the University of California for not only his fraudulent climate data, but also for his immense knowledge of viruses. But let's get back to Greta because she has even more skills than we've already discussed. It turns out that besides being an expert in climate and viruses and the fact that she can see carbon dioxide, she's also an expert in social justice and global governance. Greta can see very clearly that we need an end to democracy and capitalism. And she says, that's not an opinion, it's just simple maths. But now let's return to the real world. It should be pretty obvious by now that I'm being sarcastic. This is just a child who's being used for propaganda. A person would have to be pretty naive to believe that Greta actually writes any of the propaganda which appears on her Twitter or Facebook pages. A few months ago, climate blogger Michael Smith took advantage of a Facebook bug to reveal the fact that Greta's Facebook page was actually being written by other people. One of the people writing her Facebook page was Svante Thunberg, her father, who's named after Svante Arrhenius, the father of the global warming scam. Svante Arrhenius did some bad calculations at the end of the 19th century, which started global warming hysteria. And another person writing Greta's Facebook page was Adarsh Pratap. Adarsh works for United Nations Climate Change. The United Nations is writing Greta's material while pretending that she's an independent observer. The level of corruption and deception being used by the United Nations should be a huge scandal, but we're so used to this sort of nonsense by now from the left that we barely even notice it. This sort of dishonesty is standard operating procedure for people on the political left. There's nothing new about using little girls in pigtails for propaganda. That's been standard fare for European socialists for a very long time. The German National Socialist Party used a very similar idea during the 1930s. I have to wonder what sort of person would be taken in by the completely fake manufactured persona of Saint Greta. But Thomas Paine explained this a long time ago in his book The American Crisis. To argue with a man who has renounced the use and authority of reason and whose philosophy consists in holding humanity in contempt is like administering medicine to the dead. Apparently we're facing a very similar crisis to what America faced hundreds of years ago. Leftists hold humanity in contempt and they've renounced the use of reason. There's no way to win an argument with them because they aren't interested in facts and they refuse to use their brain. Toto understands that these people are largely unreachable, so he focuses on people who are still able to think. Visit him on the web at realclimatescience.com. He's been pulling back the curtain on junk science and propaganda for a long time.